Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Perkins, and I am so excited to be here with you today. Today, the Animal Within webinar is all about creating influence and synergy with virtually everyone you meet. How does that grab you? Pretty sweet, isn't it? Well, we're going to go over all of the information necessary to learn how to communicate with others. Now, would you like it if I made that simple for you? Yeah, piece of cake. Love it. Okay, well, to do this, I'll be sharing some awesome Dr. K tips and some tools, and the number one secret behind creating synergy and influence with virtually anyone. Now, it's knowing the secret and how to use it that is the key to getting what you and your loved ones need and want, and getting it easily, ethically, and having people happy to give it to you. It is the key to having people desire to cooperate, go the extra mile, have your back, and support you. Sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Well, I'm thrilled to tell you that what you're about to learn is going to make your life so much sweeter. It really comes down to the quote by J.G. Holland, and that quote is, "The secret of many a man's success in the world resides in his insight into the moods of men and his tact in dealing with them." So, the animal within. Well, let's be honest, people are animals too. You've heard things like, oh, we live in a zoo. Well, we all have our quirks and our good and some not so good qualities. We have our natural instincts. Have you ever heard the phrase, it's a jungle out there? Well, if you're the only person in the jungle, there are many challenges to consider, such as, do you want to eat or be eaten? Or better yet, do you want to find a way to live with all the creatures in the jungle in harmony and with an energetic synergy? I want to live with an energetic synergy. And so here's a prime example, no pun intended, of living with a synergetic energy, and that would be Tarzan. Did he treat everyone the same? No. Did he win over 100% of the jungle? Absolutely not. Yet he did create a powerful synergy and a loyalty with many, which allowed him to be extremely influential, safe, trusted, and loved. What might be some of the reasons for Tarzan to want to interact in a persuasive and influential way with those around him? Oh yeah, there's lots of them. The main five would be avoid being dinner. And of course, the second one would be part of a community. 3, learn from those who already know. 4, get help when he needed it. And 5, for support. Now, what are some of the reasons that you may want to interact in a persuasive way with other people? Well, again, you may want to avoid being dinner, be part of a community, learn from those who already know, and get help when needed, and of course, get support. Going over the secrets we're about to learn, the secrets that can be personalized to you, is going to make your life so much easier. You know, over the past 30 years, I've discovered the benefit people desire comes down to living their own first-class life, which includes things like less stress, more fame, notoriety, respect, wealth, fortune, time to do the things you love with the people you love. Over the same 30 years, I have discovered the consequences behind not being influential. And that comes down to others control your life. You have more stress. You lose clients, friends, and loved ones. Your wealth and fortune are hindered. You have a loss of time to do things that you love with the people you love. And that lack of time equals a lack of relationships, which often can lead to things like divorce. Now, is that what you really want? How do we achieve the success instead of the consequences? Well, that's easy. You take the road to success. And in order to take the road to success, you have to avoid those roadblocks. And those roadblocks come in things like someday when. You've heard that. Someday when I have more time, someday when I have more money, someday when the kids move out. By the way, they never move out, just so you know. And then we have the excuse makers. I don't have time to figure it out. I don't have the money to invest. I've tried other things and they didn't work. Yeah, they're always making excuses. And then you have the defeatist. I need it now, so I'm going to quit before I start. I doubt I'll ever be able to make it work. Well, it's just not going to happen because it's too good to be true. To what degree we succeed with the influencing others and getting what we want and having them feel good about giving it to us is dependent upon the information I'll teach you today and some additional tools I'll suggest for you along the way. Now, there is a science to influence, and we have to first influence ourselves, and we have to second understand others. Now, personality styles has been studied and philosophized about by the earliest of scholars. The way our thoughts shape our mind, the genetic characteristics, the programming, the science of human behavior. We all have our dominant personality style and react positively much faster if someone is interacting with us the way we understand, think, and do. So does this mean we have a single personality style and that we never waver from it? Quite the opposite. We all have a little bit of each within us. What is always more dominant and the place where we feel the most comfortable? And to be truly influential, we must study the behaviors and the science behind personality styles so that we can get to know how to interact with each style in the way they need to be interacted with. Have you ever wondered how the brain processes all this information, and to some it appears that it processes instantly while others struggle? Would you like me to share how to easily take one section of your brain and have the quantum computing programs make absolute sense and work at a quantum speed like they're intended to? That would make a huge impact on your life, wouldn't it? A huge asset to life? Well, it would be knowing, understanding, and instant assessment of your environment and how to succeed in it. And the number one aspect to your environment is people. Yeah, people. And that's where personality profiling comes in. And again, I've spent the past 30 years studying this academically in theory, in real life applications, in studies and observation, as well as in my practice, my coaching, my consulting, and my teaching. I have witnessed firsthand relationships, sales, productivity, profits, happiness, and more improved, well, 70, 80, 90, even 190% or more in many cases. Would you like me to share some of the secrets I've discovered along the way? In fact, would you like to know the 2 simple questions that will teach you what to say to get what you want and have others feel great about giving it to you? Would you like me to share with you some tools expert salespeople use to close 80% and more of all their deals? That'd be great, wouldn't it? Well, would you like to know how to assess your audience within moments of being in the room so you can grab their attention and help them see and want what it is that you're selling? You're always selling, even if it's solely yourself. You're selling them on liking you, trusting you, and being kind. Can you imagine what it would be like to have your teenager hear and understand and to do what you want them to do and feel good about it? I just imagine the bliss that would bring. Would you love to have everything so simplified for you that you'll be able to sound like the leading authority while you're still practicing your newfound skills? Does that sound good? Would you like to have fun while you're developing these vital skills? Well, I promise by the end of this presentation, you will understand the keys to mastering your interactions with friends, family, colleagues, and clients that will put you ahead of 93% of the general population. So when do you want to learn these skills? Next month, next year? Oh, 10 years from now? No, seriously, when do you want to learn the skills to easily identify your own and others' personalities, their needs, their wants, and be able to interact with them in a way that will benefit both of you? When? Well, now. Do you want to wait and learn about this someday when you're not so busy? Of course not. You are smart enough to understand knowing and using these skills are the keys to not being so busy. They're the way to success, the way to more time to do what you love whenever you want to do it. These keys will earn you more money, build trust, improve, and create lasting relationships. That said, like all good doctors, I am obligated to warn you about the side effects. Side effect 1, you may start to feel some tingling in your heart. 2, your ability to live in a state of constant stress will be hindered because most of your stress will disappear. And 3, you'll find more enjoyment in life. Well, now that you've been warned about the side effects, would you like a Dr. K power tool and tip on how? The Dr. K tip is take action. And even Tony Robbins agrees with me. It's not enough to know things. You have to take action. It's not enough to want to know. You must study and use and then study some more. So a Tony Robbins tip and a Dr. K tip is invest in yourself, your knowledge, and invest in the proper tools. And as Tony says, action is the most important key to any success. Now, the action to success is seriously investing your knowledge. You know, I recently read a study where they said the top 6 things the wealthiest people have in common, and the one they all have in common is they're constantly investing in their knowledge and their pursuit of happiness. I would like more happiness, wouldn't you? So another Dr. K tip is make sure you have the proper tools. To do this, you need to start gathering and using the tools that will help you the most. Now listen, I'm telling you, by taking action to invest the time and money in yourself, to learn new skills, new ways, new processes is the singular way to change your life, to receive more of the wonderful things that you desire and you deserve. Does this make sense to you? Well, let this sink in. Proper tools help you gain the knowledge you need. Identify the actions you must take and develop the skills you must have. And the proper tools will instill the behaviors necessary to get what you want, not just once, but over and over and over again. Yes, I promise I will tell you about these great tools as we go. For instance, this webinar is a great tool for you for building these skills. Yep. So again, the number 1 Dr. K tip is investing and growing. There are many places to start. Well, and the next best kept secret the wealthiest have learned and mastered is knowing how to identify and work with each of the core personality styles. Knowing the secret, you will have a clear path on what others see as an overwhelming maze to get you from where you are to where you want to be. So let's start by mastering the basics. Would it be okay with you if I take this problem and make it really simple and have you still get the same outcome? Good. In life, what many do is they skip the basics because they know we've already learned them. They're second nature, right? In truth, until we go back and look at the basics again, we often get stuck. Now, basics can be adding 2 apples. 1 apple plus 1 apple equals 2 apples. Well, until we get our apples lined up and they're easy to count, we can't move forward correctly. Most of us, out of necessity, have had to rewrite some of our early lessons. And in doing so, we've disconnected some vital data without realizing it. We must be able to instantly identify patterns. The reason we want to do this is how we resonate with others, because this falls under communication. And we all know everything we do is some form of communication, be it internal or external. Communicating to the degree that will have the most positive impact in your world is being able to instantly identify the patterns in a way one acts, reacts, behaves, thinks, and views their world, so you can communicate and resonate with them where they are comfortable. All of this leads to influence. And influence is consistently getting what you want and having others feel great about giving it to you. So, who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, because I'm a certified hypnotherapist, an expert in human behavior and personality profiling. I do cold reading, also known as reading body language, and I train others how to read body language as well. I'm a leading expert and a best-selling author and have multiple white papers published on mindset, internal programming, and emotional intelligence. And I'm one of the top 5 change management coaches in the United States. My doctorate's in business administration, project management with degrees in science of human behavior, and the list goes on and on. The thing I love the most about what I've accomplished and learned, created, and participated in, I love being able to use these skills to share these skills and witness firsthand my students improve their lives, achieve their dreams, and go on to make even more dreams and have them come true too. Over the past 25 to 30 years, I've worked with nearly 1 million individuals with small businesses and major corporations in over 50 countries around the globe, and I have seen things that are wonderful and beautiful. And have seen devastation, physical, emotion, economical, mental. And I've learned that there are 2 constants in life. One is hope, the other is change. One is hope, and the other is change. For many years, I've been the one that companies called when things were broken. They called me to fix it. Now, be it hardware or software or people. Well, the hardware and software is easy, right? Yeah, you just buy new. The people, that's the hard part. Have you ever had to work with these folks? Often when you have to deal with others, this is what you see. Yes, usually more how they feel than how they really look. Be it marriage or family, or counseling, or trying to manage an office that slipped into the hostile work environment for one reason or another. Anytime you have 2 or more people having to work together, be in the same space or whatever, it can very easily create dysfunction. And yes, folks, all of us come from a dysfunctional family in one way or another. We have our whiners, our complainers, our victims who love to be victims, and our villains, and so many more. Now, we've all experienced people who've shown up along the way who are not on the top of our wish list for people we'd like to deal with. Yeah, would you agree with that? Yeah, some of us are still running into them. Yes, I know. Well, in a moment, you're about to learn how to take the complexities of dealing with these people and easily, sanely, and effortlessly make your interactions better. Doesn't that sound great? We see these people in our office, and it's not really who they are. And, personally, I'd rather people saw the real person, the real me, the real you, the wonderful you, the you who would love to help out. The I have a fabulous product and service you want to buy for me, you. The I enjoy being happy and others being happy too, you. When you don't stop for that split second, complete a personality profile, assess how you can meet their needs and how they can meet yours, and then interact with them in a way that makes sense and is comfortable for them, you will nearly always be confronted with the stressed out, frustrated, annoyed, annoying, angry, etc. people. When you apply your newfound effortless personality profile assessment instantly in your head and assess their needs, the happy to work with you people tend to show up. Does that make sense? Are you ready to learn how to simplify the neurosciences to the bare basics so you can skip to the head of the line? Yeah, easy is much better than difficult, right? A good friend of mine, Dr. Tony Alessandra, he said that I was the expert other experts turn to. And he quoted saying, Karen helps her students discover simple yet effective tools and tactics. Dr. Karen is a master teacher and advanced guide to understanding the role of emotions in your life and to dealing with the 4 major behavioral styles. Sometimes I get asked, what is so different about your program, your solutions, your training? Let me tell you this. Dr. Tony Alessandra, a man who became a multimillionaire by teaching these skills, he asked me personally if he could use my information in his training and seminars. When I tell you this information is phenomenal, I'm not speaking to boast. I'm saying it like it is, simply stating the facts. Now, I know many of you may say, I've invested in other programs. I've attended other programs. So what's different about this one? Well, I've had people say, this sounds too easy to be real. I've tried a billion things already. I've spent tons of money and time and nothing worked before. So what's different now? Well, the difference is because I have truly taken the quantum computing information and simplified it down to when you look at it, your brain calculates it. I promise you will have a clear path. Before we jump in, I do want to promise you 3 things though today. 1, we're going to have fun. Is that all right with you if we have fun? Awesome. 2, ethical influence. I want the influence you have to be very, very ethical. And number 3, Dr. K, power tips and tools. You'll get many tools today, and you can start using them now. I'll also tell you about other tools you'll want to get from others, perhaps books, podcasts, webinars, etc. A couple of the tools I offer that cover in depth the 4 keys we're about to discuss, you'll want to start thinking about now. One is the 4-part webinar series that goes into greater depth about each personality type. But don't worry about these for now. Let's jump into the 3 keys you need to know how to get what you want and have others feel good about giving it to you. Now that you have my promise, will you give me your promise that you will use this information ethically? You will have fun and participate? The more you participate, the more fun you have and the more you learn. And will you use the tools offered to you to improve your life and the life of those around you? Well, great. Let's look at the 4 skills necessary for getting everything you want in life. The 4 very simple keys to mastering influence are, number 1, how to identify personality styles and needs. This is also known as personality profiling. Number 2, understand what and how to motivate people according to their personality needs. And number 3, we'll go over the skills of creating a natural synergy so people feel cared about and they will care for you and feel the desire to assist you. And the 4th key, we'll go over some things that you don't know that you don't know. And when we get these 4 things down, you'll have the core basis to immediately identify the personality you're talking to and what their needs are and how to communicate with them best so that you can get them what they want and have them give you what you want, and both of you feel great about doing it. Now, before we jump into key number 1, let's review a few of the benefits for being a master influencer. We'll hit on these keys more throughout this webinar. Master influencers, why do you want to be one? Well, when you're a master influencer, you gain and share knowledge. You build and maintain relationships. You have less stress. You have more fun. Your fame, notoriety, and respect, wealth and fortune, and definitely time and freedom. Remember, everything you get in life does come from someone else. And the best way to help others and give to them and have them help you and give to you, again, is going over the 4 skills. So let's go ahead and look at key number 1. Key number 1 is to identify the 4 personality styles. Why is this so important? Well, you meet a potential client and you want them to be a long-term client. You must know how to interact in the way that motivates them to want to be your client. Or maybe you have a difficult person to deal with. Are they really difficult, or are they just different? Maybe it's time for annual reviews and you want a raise from your boss. What key phrase or phrases will trigger the positive response you want? Or my favorite, your teenager doesn't listen. There just may be an easy solution for this. The list does go on and on. If you want less stress, more financial security, time for hobbies and loved ones, the first key is the basis for all of it, and so much more. To get along with others, to help others get along with you, to better communicate, and to understand why you say and do the things you do, and to understand the same for others, you must know and understand the different personality styles. Some personality profiles will divide the personalities up into 6, 8, 12, 15, or more different personalities. And we're going to cover just the core 4 personality styles. And each one of those 4 styles is a full training in itself. Again, it's like quantum computing. And subconsciously, you immediately identify and prepare to add them together without any thought. Number 1 is identify those 4 personalities. Are you getting this? As many of you know, I've developed a simple to use 2-question formula to quickly identify the personality style for yourself and anyone you are working with. Some of you have already taken the 2-question assessment. For the few who did not, let's quickly run through the 2 questions again as a refresher. As we do, also pick one person you may find difficult to work with to answer the questions for them as well. The 2 questions to ask. Question number 1, on the vertical line or the brown line, are you more direct, likes to be in charge, or are you more indirect? Maybe you prefer not to be in charge. Somewhere from the middle towards 1 might be, I'd like to be the boss, but if someone else is, I'm happy to follow. Or right up towards that 1 itself, the extreme is, it's my way or the highway. On the other side, from 6 to 10, somewhere in the middle could be, I really don't want to be in charge, but if I have to be, I'll do my best. And the extreme, really close to the 10, would be, oh, please don't make me the boss. Please don't. I don't want to be responsible for these people and their tasks. Neither is right, neither is wrong. They're just different, and Both answers are the great. Okay, so on that line, decide where you think you and the other person might fall. You may put an M for me, meaning you in this case, and an O for other person. You may want to note that 5 is not an option. No matter how much you want to believe you are right in the middle, nobody really is. Now let's do the same for question number 2, which is the horizontal line with the questions on either side. The questions are you more relationship centered? You talk first and worry about doing your task later? Or are you more task oriented? You like to finish your task first, then talk to people. The extremes on this might be the number 1, I cannot possibly answer a call or go to my desk until I've stopped and found out everything that went on this weekend with everyone. Number 10, the extreme on the other side would be don't talk to me until all of my work is done and yours is too. Now, somewhere along the middle on the left side, the 1 to 4, may be the give me the quick highlights and we'll talk more later. And now on the other side, between the 6 and 10, it might be, let me finish what I'm doing and then I can give you my full undivided attention. Now here's where my M's and O's most likely would fall when ranking myself and the one person I'm thinking of. When I line the M's and the O's up, they will land in specific section or quadrant. Yes, we all have a little bit of everything in us. We do, however, naturally fall more into one than another. And yes, it might vary with different situations. To make each section easy to remember, I have assigned each an animal to represent the dominant characteristics. We have got a peacock, lion, lamb, and owl. These are your basic 4 personality styles. As I said, to make this easy to remember and to understand as humanly possible, I divided the 4 personalities into these obvious animals. In the upper left-hand corner, we've got your peacock, who are our social people. They're out front, see me, life of the party types. Can you picture someone like this? Yeah, and then the upper right, we have our lions. These are your directors, your no-nonsense, your A-type personalities. Does this one resonate with anyone? Yeah. We have our lambs. These are your loyal and likable people, your amicable folks that get along with everybody. Do you know that support person who wants to make sure you've got all the help you need? Yep. And then, of course, we have our owls, and these are our analytical people. They enjoy doing the research, getting the details, and all the facts. Does this make sense? Yeah, you're getting it? Great. You now know the 2-question assessment, and you now know the basic description of each. Now, would you like to know more about them and the easy ways to identify them? Great. Get ready to write down some of these key things then. First, let's get this one out of the way. Which animal is the best animal to be? We'll talk more about this with key number 4. Often the very things you may think are your strengths are actually your downfalls. Just keep in mind, things are not always as they seem. The neuroscience behind all of it must be studied and understood. Let's go over our peacocks first. These are our socializers. They're fabulous salespeople and negotiators, and they're the life of the party. They are first to a good party, and if it's not good, they make it good. In hearing these things, our peacocks are nodding their head, enthusiastically saying, hey, yeah, that's me. They are fast-paced, enthusiastic, and have no issue taking risks if they see something good may come from it. Yeah, you know them because they like to be known. Next, we have our lions. These are our directors, our A-type personalities. They're great leaders and the protectors of their pride or team. They are fast-paced, make quick decisions, and have little patience with slow-moving events or people. Be it turning in their assignments or explaining things, they don't need the details. They want the fast bullet points, and if they need more, they'll ask for it. Their fast-paced and quick decisions often comes out as bluntness, and even with their warm and good intentions, unbeknownst to them, may come across as rude or harsh. They don't want to wait time for all the details. They just want to jump in and get it done. Next, we have our lambs, our lovable and loyal lambs. They are the glue that hold the group together. They are serving oriented and they give and give and give. They even give the wool off their back. They are very sensitive, a great shoulder to cry on, and they are most likely to be the one to cry watching a Hallmark commercial. They are the one at the party who is serving hors d'oeuvres and making sure everyone has what they need, and it's not their party. Now, the peacock probably threw it and is entertaining everyone. The lion has one foot in the hall waiting for the appropriate time to escape. And our owls, well, we'll go over that next. They're a very small group or off in the corner alone, and they're analyzing what the party cost and if we're within fire regulations. And that's our owl. As indicated a moment ago, our owls are analytical. They are known as the wise old owl, no matter what their age is. They are the researchers. It's very important to them. The information they have and give is detailed and correct. They're often the techie or typically not comfortable in crowds. They hate the way a lion gives directions because lions give bullet points, figuring you'll fill in the information. On the other hand, the lion gets frustrated with all the details. The owls are the ones who read the owner manuals for their car. The lion and peacock will only look if it's absolutely necessary and then just the one thing they need. And the lambs, they'll look it up and read it to you. I mentioned earlier Dr. Tony Alessandra's book, The Platinum Rule, and I love his platinum rule. It is do unto others as they would have you do unto them. We cannot meet others' needs or expect them to meet ours if we don't understand their needs, and ours are most likely not the same. I also love Dr. Stephen Covey's fifth habit from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. His fifth habit says, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Now, as you heard in key number 1, each profile has its distinct way of thinking. Let's hit on a few more things so we can better understand them, so we can seek first to understand, then to be understood, so that we can do unto others as they would have us do unto them. 3 core pieces of information to memorize are the core motives, the fear, and the motto for each animal. For a peacock, their core motive is have fun. Their fear is not being recognized, and their motto is get noticed. They want to be out front, be noticed, have fun, and really be the life of the party or the number 1 salesperson there is, or whatever job they have. For your lion, their core motive is control of self and situation and power. Their biggest fear, you like this, is being taken advantage of. No, seriously, they are afraid of being taken advantage of. And their motto is, get it done. And they do assume you understand that means now. Your lambs, their core motive is love and kindness and being of service and of value. Their biggest fear, conflict. Nothing kills them more than contention or conflict. So, of course, their motto is, get along. Next, we have our owls. Their core motive is knowledge, being right, perfection. Their fear, being reprimanded. Yeah. And their motto is get it right. Get it right. Now, all of these play out differently for each one. The owl hates to be reprimanded, so they make sure everything is perfect. Then they get reprimanded by the lion because it took them so long to do it. And the lion just as soon do it 5 times and fix it than wait to do it once the right way. Now, again, it's the difference in the personalities, and both work out in the end. It's just a matter of approach. Key number 3 is going to be synergy, creating that positive connection. Another way to create that positive connection is through communications. And you've got to communicate the right way with each animal to form a more cohesive relationship. So let's look at ways that the animals need to be communicated with so they can understand. Your peacocks, their communication preference is let them know how it's going to make them look. Tell them, wow, you would be the talk of the town if. You would be my biggest hero if. Man, you would shine so much if. You could be the number one salesperson if. You could be the number one speaker if. And watch those ifs, but tell them you are the number one, whatever, when it's true. But they need to know how it's going to make them look. They want to look good. Your lions, you're going to talk to a lion, bullet points only. Bullet points. Get in, get out, go away, do your job. Now, Lehigh Coco was a true lion. And do you know what he used to do? He would shave the front legs of the chairs so that they were just a little bit on an angle, not noticeably consciously, but uncomfortable subconsciously. So people would get in, sit down, say their piece, and because they were uncomfortable, would quickly get up and leave. Now, it's not that they don't like people, they just have a lot of work to do, and they want you to get to the point so that they can continue getting to the point. And then our lambs. If you're going to communicate with the lamb, you need to let them know how it's going to affect or impact somebody else. Would you do me a favor? It would really help the team if I really need some help. Would you mind helping? I mean, help is a big word, but there's a lot of other words that let them know that they're serving others. It's important to them. That's why they're the ones that remember everybody's birthdays, is because it's important to them that other people know that they're cared for. And then our owl, when you're communicating with the owl, give them all the details, give them the facts, give them the outlines. You know, an owl is most likely to write a 595-page report and then give it to the lion, who's going to read the table of contents. And pretty much that's it. A lion is not going to write a 595-page report, and a peacock's most likely not going to, and if they do, there'll be lots of really cool pictures. The lamb will write it, but they'll write it, have pictures, they'll have illustrations, they'll have all kinds of things to try and make it so that all of the personalities are happy with the report. And an owl is doing great because all of that information is necessary. He just needs to keep in mind that when they write that, they need a quick executive summary for those who are not going to read it page by page like they should. Okay, let's go over key number 4. What you didn't know, you didn't know. So what is it you don't know? Well, guess what? You don't freaking know what it is you don't know. So would you like me to share what 93.7% of the folks out there don't know about these folks? Yeah, would you like a Dr. K tip, a ninja tip? You can't assume. You must listen, watch, pay attention to each and every person you interact with. So of our animals, who is smarter? Our owls are analytical, are considered to be the most intelligent personality styles. In truth, all 4 types are equally intelligent. The owl is just more likely to stay focused on one topic to do the most research. Research, knowledge, and detail gathering are natural desires for people in our AL or analytical arena. That's one of the reasons we are inclined to instantly bestow the crown of knowledge on this group of people. And while our owls are considered to be the best researchers and analyzers, our peacocks or socializers are typically considered to be the best negotiators, salespeople, and creative artists. In a study conducted with 1,700 business teams by KW Educational Investments in 2009, the highest IQ scores were not personality type dependent. However, when retested for strictly for stress-free activities for these personality types, people from this study who fell under the peacock umbrella scored much higher on the IQ scale and were able to adapt more easily to new skills thrown at them. Now, I love what one of my great clients, Kelly Browning, from one of our Fortune 500 companies said. She was one of those people who had her life all planned out, but was rarely pleased with the outcome. And her boss sent her to an executive retreat for personal development, and she was not happy. She did not need it. However, by the end of the retreat, her story had changed. She said, I was completely surprised to find out what my true core value was. I knew what I wanted out of life. I had goals and actions set in place. Karen's assessment really made me look at what truly was most important in my life. Now that I've gone through the core value assessment, I realize there are some things I need to refocus on. After all, if you're going somewhere, you might as well go where you want to be. So here's another question. It's no slight secret that our lions or A-type personalities come across as self-absorbed, short-tempered, and would rather not deal with people. That said, in multiple studies done by universities ranging from Cambridge to Harvard to UCLA and more, the statistics show that the lion's primary objective is to protect the people they are responsible for, which includes everyone they know. As a rule, what they do to provide comfort, security, and happiness for those they care about. Brian Tanner said, being a sales rep was so stressful for me. I went to one of Dr. K's 2-day master classes and things are no longer stressful. My sales skyrocketed. Better yet, so did everything else in my life. Fears? No more. She even had all of us eating fire by the end of the event. What a rush. Thank you, Dr. K. Yeah, he was a salesman that was not naturally a salesman. He was not a peacock. But he did great once he understood the skills that he needed in order to perform his job. So who makes more money? Giants in the industry are typically thought of as the lions, the A-type personalities, or the peacocks, you're typically salespeople, and there are plenty. However, people tend to forget it is the soft skills of people feeling good around you that lambs so easily connect to that keeps the wealth coming in. Wealth magazine had an article a couple of years ago where a man studied the top 20 wealthiest in the world for 5 years. And surprisingly, many were lambs. The other 3 were peppered in the mix, but the large majority of them were lambs. Well, let's look at who's more sensitive. Now, we all know that lambs have the biggest hearts, right? Lions are mean, peacocks are self-centered, and owls have no personality whatsoever. And emotions? You're looking only at the lambs and peacocks, right? Yeah, or are you? Historically, owls are extremely sensitive. Because of their private nature, few people see this side of them. They're typically shy, even with their vast knowledge. That's one of the things that make them appear aloof. When people do thoughtless things that hurt feelings, our owl is not just offended for themselves, they are offended for the others too. Most owls fear the social skills are not where they could be. So when they are put on the spot or unwanted or known attention is thrust upon them, they are wounded more than others and feel way beyond uncomfortable. The phrase going postal where the nice, quiet guy that keeps to himself and was super smart suddenly snapped and things went from bad to worse. This is typically your owl that has been cornered one time too many. Treat all people with sensitivity and love. All people. Now, I love what Josh Baxter said. He says, my boss is a lion and I'm an owl. Now it all makes sense. I know what she needs and I can meet those needs. In return, have my own satisfied. For the first time since I took this job, I'm not walking on pins and needles waiting to see how she'll react. Man, I wish I had known this information earlier in life. It's good information. Well, let's look at who's most annoying. If you were to ask who is most annoying, all 4 animal types would win. We all do things that hurt or offend others, typically with zero knowledge or suspicion what we've done could possibly be taken in a hurtful manner. Yet every second that ticks by, dozens of people around the world have just been devastated by a hurtful comment, look, response, or lack of response. It's your responsibility to politely inform others when they've done this to you. It is the only way to find if the action was intended hurtful or not, and to rectify it. Yes, that is a course for another day, though. So let's look again at the benefits of being a master influencer. You're going to be living your own first-class life. You're going to have less stress, more fame, notoriety, and respect, wealth and fortune, and time to do the things you love with the people you love. And what happens when you have a lack of influential skills? Well, again, you have more stress, you lose clients, friends, and loved ones, your wealth and fortune are hindered, and you have a loss of time to do the things you want with the people you want. And that lack of time often equals lack of relationship, which often will lead to things such as divorce. So how do we achieve the master skills? By doing the things we just went over. My good friend and mentor, Dustin Matthews, who was the co-founder and owner of Speaking Empire, and now the CEO of WealthFit.com, is one of the greatest mentors I've ever had. And I've also had the honor to be his coach and mentor. This is what Dustin had to say. What amazes me about Dr. Karen Perkins is not her capability to immediately connect with various personalities, but rather her ability to teach valuable tools to do the same. That is true mastery. When I was struggling, she showed me tools to communicate more effectively with my team by helping me understand a key principle. The right tools are powerful. You know, CEOs like Dustin, speakers like you, parents and spouses, attorneys, really everyone needs the right tools. And to do this, you need to start gathering and using the right tools. And the proper tools, they help you to gain the knowledge you need, to identify the actions you must take, to develop the skills you must have, and to instill the behaviors necessary to get what you want, not just once, but over and over again. Is it all right if I share another Dr. K tip and tool I know to be essential for success? Great. Tip. Your success is tied directly to your actions. In fact, write this down. Success rewards action. Okay, are you grasping that? Success rewards action. Every success, every non-success can be tied directly to an action or several. Well, I got rich because I won the lottery. Then you took 3 actions. You purchased the lottery ticket, you checked to see if you won or answered the phone for someone to tell you you won, and then you claimed the money. Can you see how this works? I would like to suggest that when you take action, the first action to take is stop dreaming and start being. Stop dreaming and start being. You realize you have to take action, invest now or pay later. The things you don't invest in now will cause personal and professional issues later. Issues like losing a client, more stress, more working hours, less personal time, poor health, loss of income you could have had, loss of time you could have had, loss of relationships you could have had, time, loss of ability to serve your fullest, loss of stronger and stronger self-confidence, self-esteem and self-pride, setting an example for your kids, friends, and so forth that you believe that procrastination is the best thing to do, that life is too hard to try to make it easier, that happiness, wealth, and overall success is only for a select few, and you will never be one of them, and suffering is your lot in life, period. Now, is this the price you want to pay today, tomorrow, next year, or every year after? Is this the example you want to set for your children or your nieces and nephews or your siblings or your friends, your neighbors? If it is, you have my good wishes. Go forth and be unhappy. However, are you ready for rapid success? To make more money, eliminate difficult situations with people, learn critical body language signs, to know from across a conference room, boardroom table, or even as clients enter the room, so you can influence appropriately, smoothly, and quickly? How about, are you ready to improve relationships personally and professionally? To instantly add an hour to your personal time? Yeah, may I share an easy way to do this? You cannot grow without investing in your knowledge, your skills, and your relationships without the proper tools. If all this did for you is gain another client, if all this did is to get you one more client, would it be worth it? If all this did was prevent one disagreement or misunderstanding, would it be worth that? If all this did was give you the time to spend with loved ones, would it be worth it? If all these webinars did for you is to significantly improve your relationships, your finances, or your business, would it be worth it? Would knowing what to change in your life be worth it? I want to share this testimony that Malika gave me in Calgary, Canada.
Hey, it's Malika Tmavia with Living First Class. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What can I say to you, my friends? What can I say to you other than my life was changed within 5 minutes of talking to this woman? Miracle worker. Miracle worker. She just sits with you, she looks at you, and she knows everything there is to know, and she knows exactly what to do, you know? And she knew, and she knew, and she knew, and she gave me permission to let go of really heavy baggage that I never allow myself to let go of, you know? And within 5 minutes, I felt like a new person, like a brand new person. So I don't know who you are, I don't know where you're from, and I don't know what you're holding on to, and what, like, where you're going, and what's holding you back, you know? But I'm telling you, if you want to be living first class, you definitely need to pass through these doors. You definitely need to check this out. I'm telling you.
You know, folks, the time is now to learn these skills. If you wait another hour, another day, another week, I can guarantee you it will be too late for you to benefit someone you care about already. Is it all right with you if I share another tip or training tool that gives you more in-depth information on communication? Great. One of the best Dr. K tips and tools today I want you to know about is the Covert Animal web series. This web series is comprised of 4 different downloadable webinars, 1 complete webinar per animal. And it comes with practice demos, downloadable workbooks, and it has the bonus cold reading or body language guide. Each webinar is designed to deep dive into the understanding in creating positive synergy and motivating each animal individually. Irresistible Influence Covert Animal Web Series, with the 4 comprehensive downloadable webinars, a downloaded workbook, and the bonus body language book, is a value of $788 for the series. And today only, you get this entire series for the low price of only $147. $147 for the entire series. That is a huge discount. So what's one of the things you can get from the $147 low investment? Well, you can get things like my good friend Bob Monson did. Bob wrote in and said, "Thank you for helping me strengthen my inner game. I didn't realize how much I needed it. Now my inner game is where it should be. And now I've got all of these great tools for personal and professional success." Well, Bob knew he was worth it. Are you worth it? Of course you are. And you do have permission to get it. The brightest and the best invest. They invest in themselves, they invest in their future, in their happiness, and they invest in what it is they want the most in life. I don't blame you for clicking that button right now to register for the Irresistible Influence Covert Animal Web Series. How many of you would love to be able to know that your investment with me was totally safe? Yeah, I love to know that things are safe too. So it is absolutely safe. In fact, you have a better than 100% money back guarantee. Yeah, better than 100% money back guarantee. Now, some of you are asking, how can you have a better than 100% money back guarantee? Well, if you attend this web series, and if you can send me 2 things that you have tried from each web series, I will give you 100% money back, and you can keep the web series downloads and the workbook download, and you can keep the bonus, What Are They Thinking?, which is a cold reading body language book, plus the special bonus that you will get after you attend the webinar. Better than 100% money back guarantee. And I can give this guarantee because I know you are going to love it and it will change your life. I am committed to your success. Are you? Now, some of you may still have questions. If you do, please contact support@drkarenperkins.com. Everyone else who's an action taker and wants success immediately, click here and I will see you at the webinar. I am excited to see your growth and development. And until next time, may you find peace and joy in all that you do. See you later.